All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. Well, today is a categorical nightmare. Probably not the correct way of using that term, but something terrible has happened. Teddy's fine, but he's not here. So I have probably Bashar. Hold on. I don't think I'm the best stream on YouTube anymore. I usually drop. I know. Like it's about as bad as it can get over here. So I normally drop Teddy off at my parents' house. Hey, Amal. Oh, Amal, what are you doing here? Good to see you, girl. Hope everything's going okay. Will do, Meta. So I drop Teddy off at the parents' house usually in the mornings because, he can hang out with my mom and the dog that they have there. And so then I drove home and I forgot to pick him up. So yeah. Oh no, sorry, Autumn. Yeah. So yeah, see, I'm already losing people. I get it. I have done goofed. I'm embarrassed. And so I just didn't have time to go and pick him up after I got home. So yeah, so feel free to leave at any time. I understand that you guys have better things to do than to watch an old weird guy talk about psychology, and the only thing really keeping you here was Teddy. So, yep, yeah. Fatima, I'm right there with you. I'm feeling very rad. I could autograph your Barrett's book merch drop. Yeah, I gotta work on some merch drop. Yeah, I'll look into that. Yeah, I know. Here's the thing. Like when you own a dog like Teddy, who has as much energy as he does, when you forget about him for a little bit, it's kind of nice. He's a lot. I'm doing well, Amal. It is, yeah, weird. You have a lot of work to do. I've never known you to work really hard on stuff. That must be so strange for you. Where's the fan meetup going to be? That's up to you guys. If you guys want to do fan meetups, do it safely with masks on. Yeah. No, yeah. I hear you, Bashar. Yeah. My entire, it's just going to be a complete economic collapse for me. So, yep. So, yeah. Okay. So, today, what are we doing here? Tomorrow, you guys got your Unit 3 and 4 exam. You guys have already handled one test so far, easy as pie. So now it's time for exam number 2, but we're calling it Unit 3 and 4. So, yeah, no, I should start. I should start creating some merch, giving you guys extra credit. I totally wouldn't get fired for that. No way, I'd be totally fine. Yeah, oh my gosh. You guys know how many times in the since I started teaching, how many people have Wi-Fi issues? That's like it's the thing I get so often. And I'm sure some people have Wi-Fi issues, but I'm like, oh my gosh, Sugarland must be going through the worst worst crisis of a Wi-Fi ever, to get as many. Oh, sorry, I missed class this morning. My Wi-Fi was down. Yeah. So I don't really care, but it's just kind of funny. All right. It's this, it's just the way that we get through. So yeah, Tiny Tin. Yeah, totally traumatizing. Yeah. Almo, we were doing. Oh, okay. So Almo, it's not like that. Like they changed the formatting, so they're doing chapters. So they're just doing the learning and sensation and perception. So No, it's not 2 chapters, but they stopped calling it chapters and they started calling it units, and then they like cut down on some of it. So we have like 9 units instead of 14 chapters. So it's a little bit different, but not that bad. So okay, so let's get started. I got a bunch of questions for you guys. Let me put that up, and then we'll roll into it. So just remember, guys, if you have questions about stuff, hit me with those questions. If you need anything, let me know. But otherwise, let's get into it. We got a lot to cover before tomorrow. I basically have a test worth of questions to ask you guys. I gotta be kind of juggling this over here. Kind of had everything set up, and then I had to realize that I had to get you guys pictures of Teddy, or there might be a riot. All right. All right. Don't tell me that you haven't studied yet. That's not good. Don't just study, guys. Yeah, don't need that. Yeah, all you need to do is stay on the stream for an hour, and we'll cover everything. It'll be fine. Yes, test will be zip crate again as a yeah. I think the next one I'll probably do College Board, but for now we're gonna do this. So have a good one, Amel. Always good to hear from you. So. Oh yeah, good start. Fovea, definitely. I mean, it's wrong, but in a sense, you're almost correct. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's get into it. Yes. Good. Okay. So I do want to preface here the difference between selective attention and cocktail party effect. I saw a couple cocktail party effects. Remember, the cocktail party effect kind of like falls under selective attention, but look at this. An individual's ability to focus on a particular conversation in a noisy, crowded room is simply selective attention. Now, if you added a phrase of, but they heard their name specifically called out in the crowd and turned to hear that, then you would be like, okay, that's the cocktail party effect. So selective attention, you ignore all the stuff that's around you to focus in on the thing that you're paying attention to. And then the cocktail party effect, you ignore all the stuff stuff around you except for the thing that you're paying attention to, but you also hear that sound or that name or that thing that you find important, and you go like that. That's the cocktail party effect. Is it limited to hearing names? No, it is most common with names. However, another aspect of that might be like something that you're really interested in. Like if if I'm in a crowd and someone says like, I don't know, League of Legends or whatever, you'll get some kids that are like, ooh, I like League of Legends, or ooh, I like painting, or ooh, I like horses. And you might get pulled out of that, but mostly your name. Yeah. What if you don't have a name? I can't help you with that. So it would be a little sad. I don't think so. It could be anything. Yeah. Yep. Yes. Thank you, Tiny Tin. Yeah, it's like you write your definition of the cocktail party or the selective attention, and then it goes like under and to the side. So that's good, Zen. I'm glad. Drop League of Legends and download Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact? I've never even heard of that. I'll write it down. I won't buy it or get it, but is it free? If it's free, I might try it, but if it costs money. I don't really buy video games anymore. It's been a while. Except for Fall Guys. I did buy Fall Guys. That was a mistake. I didn't play it all that much. None of my friends wanted to play it. Alright, you'll have to remind me. I don't have anything to write with right now. Okay. Are we going to be I can ask questions from Unit 1, but it's all the same stuff. So it's all the stuff from before. But I can pull it up if you guys need to. If you guys want me to. So that I do not mind. Do I play Call of Duty? I played Call of Duty when Call of Duty was good. So Call of Duty like Call of Duty Modern Warfare, like the first Modern Warfare when it wasn't terrible. That's when I played, and then it became like the FIFA or like the Madden games. So it's just all the same nonsense. So Oh, Among Us, my friends are playing it. I literally haven't had the time to play it recently, but I do. I think I will pick that up. It's like $5. Yeah. I should. Oh my gosh, I should stream Among Us. That'd be great. No, you do not. You don't need to know where the parts of the eye are. Mm-mm. Oh, I'm so ready for it. Yeah, that'd be great. Hmm. Tell me the process of hearing. No, I would not play Among Us with you guys. I love and care about all of you, but there is a separation between who I am as a teacher and who you are as a student. But if you graduate, if you graduate, and afterwards it is possible that I have played with one a former student. He graduated, and he was really good at League of Legends, so we played with him a couple times, but only a couple times because he was so good at it, and I felt, and it was yeah, pretty bad. So okay, so here we go. Yep, yep. We did not need to know parts of the eye. Yeah, no, Bashar, you don't need to know parts of the eye or ear. You need to know how it works. You need to know the process. That's cool, Manasa. Join us. No worries. Bring whoever you want. I don't mind. So we're just here reviewing. I just hope that you're doing the similar stuff. My kids have a test tomorrow. I know I'm repping Austin, but we're just here for learning. We're just trying to be here to grow as human beings. It'll be great. Yes, only if you graduate. Big if for some of you goofballs. All right. Yeah, very good. Okay. Yep. Grandmother's house, falling down the stairs. You guys are on top of things. Okay. Whew. I'm trying to read all these. To know where everything is located. Just yep. Yes, TN. Good. Do we need to know the parts of the ears? Yeah, because the thing is, it's like they're gonna be like you need to know the parts of the ears and the parts of the eyes, not where they are, but what their function is. Definitely. What's going on, Mr. Monk? Ryan, I don't think I've ever known what's going on. If you figure out what's going on, you let me know. Yeah, it is progressive testing, so we'll have 10 questions from Unit 1 and 2. Uh-huh. Do we need to know frequencies and amplitude? Yes. Yes. 100%. No, that's just a picture. Yeah, it's just a picture. No. Yeah, you don't need to know where they are, but you need to know what they do. So, yeah. Oh, man. Frost, that was such a nice thing to say, but most of you guys are really just answering questions, so I don't know if it really counts. All right, here we go. Next question. Next question. Boom. I'm trying to keep up with you guys is difficult. So, man, I'm so happy. I love doing these. Oftentimes I'm like, oh man, I gotta do a stream. Like it's all this prep work, and then every time I get on here, I'm like, man, I'm just having a great time. You guys are great. All right, here we go. I'm gonna try something while you guys answer that question. Let's see if I can do this. Okay. All right, no, that didn't work. They have this image slideshow that you can set up, but it doesn't I have no idea how even to put in the slides. What? How do you even do that? Whatever. Okay. Yeah, man. Listen, Rian, what am I supposed to do? You guys come on here. I don't even know whose names are on here. Sorry, bud. I'm glad it's helpful, Manasa. Sorry, man. Yeah, I have to learn 200 people every semester, or 200 people every new year. Sorry, bud. I'm sorry that I did not recognize you on YouTube. I hope you'll forgive me. All right. All right. All right. Let me... This isn't really where I'm going with this. Okay, this isn't... Hold on. Am I on the... Okay, let me put up... You guys aren't... This is... Let me put up the answer choices. Maybe I did not properly look at this because this isn't really what I'm looking for. Let me put up the answer choices. I think you guys are correct, but I'm kind of looking for something different. So that is totally fine. No. Okay, try that. Okay. Good. Yes, generalization is what I'm looking for. Good, good, good. Yeah, generalization. Okay. Yeah, my apologies on that. I just kind of I think I dropped that in and started looking at how to put more pictures of Teddy up, and needed a little more into on that. Yep, generalization is what I'm looking for. Good, guys. Good, 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 good. Okay, here we go. Next question. Don't forget, guys, if you have a specific question, please feel free to ask away. Okay. Oh, yeah, I can go over this question. Okay, so the next question's up, but I can go over this. All right, so what it's saying, Ahmet is allergic to dogs, okay? While in the store, he sees a stuffed toy dog, like a little stuffed animal, okay? This Teddy's toy. And has an allergic reaction, okay? So what is happening is the neutral, like the stimulus of the dog is like the stuffed animal is, so generalization can often happen with operant conditioning. I know we talked about it in like classical conditioning, but basically what he has just done is he's paired that plush dog with like a real one, and so he's generalized the two things, and so he kind of like breaks out in a rash. It's a really kind of a silly concept, but that's all that's happening. Ahmet has like paired those two things together. And remember, generalization, what we were talking about is like, okay, you have a neutral stimulus over here and you have a conditioned stimulus, but these two things are close enough that even though this neutral stimulus is technically different, you still get a conditioned response. And there isn't really like this isn't classical conditioning here. This is more operant, but generalization also works in operant conditioning. So I think that's probably where you might have gotten tripped up and like, oh, this doesn't make as much sense. Okay. Okay, so monocular cues, yes. Which one? Which injure an accident and has to wear eye patch over the eye while it heals? Which of the following cues? Oh, okay. Okay. Nope, you're good. You're good. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. It's another one where the question was a little bit deeper, and it is all good. This is perfect. All right, so let's do this again. Yes, you definitely need to know about the schedules. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. You definitely need to know about the different cues. 100% need to know about the different cues. Here's a question on one of them. I can never get these to go in properly, and I have no idea how I'm supposed to twist them around in this thing. Boom. More Teddy pictures. If I had a little more time today, I would have sorted that out, but I have no idea how to like rotate it. Okay, so yeah, binocular cues or retinal disparity, more specifically, is the actively correct question. But binocular cues, retinal disparity, that's what we're looking at here. Very good. Okay. Yep. Okay. Sweet. All right, here we go. Next one. This is a long one. It's a long question. Okay. Good, guys. Good, good, good. Ow, criminy. Okay, there you go. Next question. Okay, good. Yep, learned helplessness. I went on a rant on learned helplessness today. I kind of couldn't help myself. I forgot how much I enjoyed lecturing on that thing. So lots of good examples. So good. Yep, learned helplessness. You guys are on top of things. Man, guys, tomorrow's test gonna be so easy. I gotta start challenging you guys. Too smart. Got this. Got this in the bag. Whew. Whew. Okay, this one's a little bit tougher. So I'm going to put some answer choices up here for you because it's not super clear exactly unless you have some of these answer choices. So let me put these up. Ooh, nope. Copy that. Okay, there we go. One day I'm going to figure out how to do this with the answer choices better so it doesn't take me so long. It is not this day. Okay, good. Figure and ground. Excellent, guys. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay. Good. Plowing through these. You guys are doing great. All right. All right, let's see. This one's no, I don't really like that question. Okay, next one. Okay, here we go. Yeah. I know I have some reinforcement schedule questions in here, so I'll come back. I'll come back to it, or like when it comes up, we'll talk about it. Okay. So while attending a concert, Anthony finds that he can clearly recognize the melody coming from the lead violin above all the other instruments playing on the orchestra or in the orchestra. Even though the other instruments may be louder, Gestalt psychologists would explain Anthony's ability of using the principle. Okay, so simply put, we're talking about Gestalt principles. That we're just focusing in on that idea of Gestalt. And so you got to go back through, okay, when we were talking about perception, what are these Gestalt things talking about? So figure ground, closure, simplicity, constancy, proximity. So remember when we were looking through those, these are different ways that our brain helps us process the world so that it makes more sense. There's so much going on. There's so much nonsense everywhere. And so our brain tries to, compartmentalize things in order to make it easier. Figure and ground is selective attention. That's all figure and ground is. It's another fancy way of saying selective attention. It's just saying this is what the Gestalt psychologists are calling it. Because all you're doing is it's just like the thing that is in front of you that you are paying attention to, that you're focused on, that you're listening to. This person, Anthony, can clearly recognize the melody from the lead violin. Maybe this person is really good with violins, or that's what they're paying attention to, or whatever. And so they can focus in on that, even though there's all this other stuff going around. Like, think about your lunch conversations with your friends. Like, everything else is louder than your conversations with your friends, but you're still able to like drown that stuff out. That's just figure and ground. Selective perception, all the same. Okay? Wonderful, guys. Yeah, accommodation. Very good. Easy street. Easy street. Let's go, Mr. Monk. Can we get a difficult question here? Come on now. You guys are doing great. Manasseh, you are representing Clements very well. Here we go. Next question. Yes, there's a reason it doesn't let you donate, Frost. Jeez. You're out of control. Out of control. Yeah, test is progressive. Yeah, no worries, Bashar. It's fine. Ooh. Okay, well, this is okay. So, what's going on here? I'm not getting a lot of answers from you guys. Okay, here we go. Ooh, okay. Guys thought you were all smarty pants. All right, keep answering, keep answering. Take your stab at it. Well done, Manasseh. Your Clemens teacher has taught you well. Okay, so let's go through this. Okay, all right. I like some of these answers. I see what you're talking about. So let's go through this. A cancer patient becomes nauseated following chemotherapy treatments. After a few treatments, the patient begins having a sick feeling whenever entering the treatment room. The treatment room has become. Okay, so I do like if you wrote acquisition. I'm happy with that answer. But it is the conditioned stimulus, okay? Now, the reason why it's the conditioned stimulus and not the neutral stimulus is literally that last sentence. The treatment room has become. So what that is saying is that the treatment room has transitioned over from the neutral stimulus to the conditioned stimulus. The cancer patient is getting sick by simply walking into that room, right? Is that what it, yeah, whenever they walk into that room, they start to feel sick. So it is transitioned from neutral stimulus to conditioned stimulus. And you can bet your bottom dollar that both neutral stimulus and conditioned stimulus are answer choices on that test question. So please make sure that you recognize that difference. The neutral stimulus, that thing that is outside of what is going on. So you have your UCS and UCR. You have your naturally occurring relationship. You then have that outside. Oh, it has become. It says it has become. My apologies. Okay. The final answer is conditioned stimulus. It's a conditioned stimulus. Okay. So you have your UCS and your UCR. That is your naturally occurring relationship. This is you pressing your hand on a hot pan and going, ah. This is you looking at your really delicious food and beginning to salivate. And that neutral stimulus is outside. Once that neutral stimulus has paired itself with the UCS and the UCR, that naturally occurring relationship, the NCS, through acquisition of these two things pairing, transitions over and becomes your conditioned stimulus, okay? And that's what this is specifically talking about. Okay. Uh, difference threshold and just noticeable difference. I think they're the same. They're the same thing at ET. They're just some people call it. I always forget to say just noticeable difference. It's they're the same thing. It's just a different way of saying it. Yes, Tini, I can change it. Okay, so here we go. So let me copy paste that, and then cancer patient becomes nauseated following chemotherapy treatments. After a few treatments, the patient begins to have a sick feeling whenever entering the room. The problem is like changing up. Stop. Okay. No. How do I want to do this? I think the setup of the question is just really weird, so it makes it difficult to do the neutral stimulus. So a cancer patient becomes nauseated following a chemotherapy treatment. They always. So the problem with the way that the question is structured is that in order to recognize that there is any conditional stimulus, or to recognize that this is a thing, that this is classical conditioning that is happening, you have to go and talk about the whole thing. Because if I wanted to point out the neutral stimulus, and this could maybe help you on a future question, in order for me to talk about it being specifically a neutral stimulus, I couldn't talk about the finished route, because I would have to say, a cancer patient becomes nauseated following chemotherapy treatments, and they always go to the same room, because the same room would be your neutral stimulus. But in order for me to ask a question about that neutral stimulus, I would have to cut the question off there, and it wouldn't really make a lot of sense. So it has to be finished. So unless they specifically ask you at the bottom of this question, what is the neutral stimulus? You're generally, like, if a question is set up like this, they're not going to ask for a neutral stimulus, because it's just a really awkward way of like doing it. I know I probably didn't explain that super well, but I want to move on, because it's a thing that you're not going to see. Like, this question would never ask you about the neutral stimulus. They would ask you about the conditioned stimulus, conditioned response, unconditioned stimulus, unconditioned response. Just because the relationship between neutral stimulus and conditioned stimulus is just kind of a little wonky, because it's always the same thing. So I don't know if that answers your question, Tiny. I kind of steamrolled that, but it's a question that if you don't directly understand it, it's not that big of a deal. Okay, cool. I'm glad you got it. Okay, so here we go. All right. So this one is not asking about what type of reinforcement. It's not asking for, is this like positive or negative reinforcement or punishment. It's asking for something a little bit different. Let's see if you guys can get it without answer choices. It's asking something a little bit different. Okay, good. Yep. Easy peasy, token economy. Okay, so now let me piggyback on that question. Outside of token economy is 100% correct. Tell me about that specific reinforcer. What is it? Indeed, A ain't basic, not now, not ever. Easy. So what is another way that you could, yes, Meta. Yes. What is another descriptor of that specific what type of reinforcer is it? Yeah. Secondary reinforcer is what I'm looking for. Okay. So it is something that is not innate within us. It's not that food or drink or physical contact. Like this is something that you have to learn has value. Golden stars are just little stars, but you have to learn that they have some type of value. Good. Okay. All right, next question. Would this be a fixed ratio schedule? No, because it's not on a. This is continuous reinforcement. When a child behaves well for an entire day. No, it's not. No, because it's based on time. So no, this would be a fixed interval schedule. Great question there. This would be that's a great question. It is a fixed interval because it's a certain amount of time. The child behaves well for the entire day. It's not every behavior they're getting it, or they behave well 5 times. It's for a span of days. So this would be a fixed interval schedule. Remember, interval is talking about time. I have been on this diet for a week, and so I will, I'll give myself a reward. A child is being good for an entire day, so they get a reward. If we had to choose between secondary or Posidus? Poseidon? Bubbles galore, I don't understand your question. Did you misspell something, or am I a terrible teacher who doesn't? Oh, positive. Oh, okay. Between choosing secondary or positive, they're not gonna both are equally correct. Both would be equally correct in that situation, so you wouldn't have that thing. One is not more correct than the other. So if it says when a child behaves well for an entire day, the child earns a piece of candy, then I might put both positive and secondary because it's a primary, not a it's a primary. It's a primary, not a secondary. But yeah, no, I would never put those two together. Yeah. Good question, Bashar. I don't know. On Schoology, you said that everyone gets a 95. Is that true? For me, no. Did you not read that entire post? It was pure nonsense. No. Can you explain? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me do this. Okay. I'm going to post the next question, and then what I need you to do, answer that question. I'm going to find the question on on schedules, and then I'll post that one, and then we'll talk about it. So there we go. So answer that question, and then let me find the question I had. One of the questions that I had for ratio or for schedules. No. Yep, good. Bashar, never with the question marks. Yeah, I know, Fatima. I think we'd all be very cool with 95s. And you know what? Probably no one would ever notice or care. But that's not us. We're here to grow as human beings, and taking the easy way out is not how that's done. Easy way out is not worth it. You never get far enough with it. Is the test more straight definitions or applications, or it's a mix of both? It's a mix of both. Yeah, it's a mix of both. So, I like application more than straight definitions. So, yeah, why not, Bashar? Let's just go. Free major grade 100. Why not? Would this be bounce? Is this? Hold on. This doesn't specifically talk about the Young-Helmholtz or the opponent process theory. This question says nothing about either of those two things. Remember? Ooh, nice. TQO, nice. Yeah, cones has a C, and so it sees color, and rods have a D, so it's good in the dark. I mean, that's two of the concepts. There's other things, but that's a good start. I like it. Okay, Liba, can you ask about perceptual adaptation in a minute? Because I want to get to the schedules of reinforcement. When I'm done, Liba, when I'm done doing the schedules of reinforcement, ask that question again for me. Is there a chance that we get... No, because Frost, I got to get you ready for the AP exam. The AP exam is not going to give you a minute for every question. They're going to give you 45 seconds per. So Don't be a baby. Know your stuff. All right, here we go. Next question. All right, so so this is our schedules of reinforcement question. Lucky you. You already know what it's about. But I am going to, May 12th is the AP exam. I can't remember exactly the date. It's in May. So we will have plenty of time to talk and worry about that later. Okay. So here, is it the 11th? Philza, you are amazing. Thank you. All right, so here's the question. Here are the answer choices. Bam. You can just say A, B, C, D, or E. But I do appreciate those who... Oh, or you could also copy and paste. A DT, TQO, yes, SHAP. Yes, SHAP. This is driving me crazy. I have no idea how to put these right side up. I feel like a goober, like one of those boomer people who don't know how to work the dang computer. Sorry guys for lopsided pictures. Ugh. I feel like this is my greatest failure. I don't think I'll ever recover from this true embarrassment. I got kids from other schools watching. I'm gonna be like, wow, that guy was a mess. Okay, ooh. All right, here we go. Yeah, this is what we're doing. All right, so let's look at this question. Amiko's cat, here, I'm not gonna post it again. Scroll up in the chat. Amiko's cat often meows for food, okay? Amiko decides to eliminate the behavior by feeding the cat only when it does not meow. Over the next few weeks, she sometimes ignores the cat when it meows. Other time, she feeds the cat when it meows. Which of the following is the most reasonable prediction to make about the cat's meowing for food? Okay? So, it will disappear due to extinction. Doesn't make any sense. The behavior hasn't stopped because it forgot about something. That's what extinction is. So that's out. Okay. It will decrease overall, but not extinguish. Same thing. Like this is kind of piggybacking on the extinction thing. I don't think it really makes a lot of sense. So you just kind of like cross it off unless nothing else pops up. Okay. It will remain unchanged due to a continuous schedule of reinforcement. Very specifically, she has said that she is not doing a continuous schedule of reinforcement. A continuous schedule of reinforcement happens every single time. When the person or the animal or whatever does the behavior that you want to reinforce, the behavior that you want to continue, you give them a reward. So when you are beginning to train something or someone to do something, and when I started to train Teddy, I started with continuous reinforcement. Every time he did the thing that I wanted to do, I gave him a treat. You use continuous reinforcement to make the connection happen fast. So the connection happens very quickly with continuous reinforcement. I give you the treat. You recognize, okay, every time I do this thing, I'm getting some type of reward. I should keep doing this thing. The problem is over an extended period of time, that trails off, because if you can't always give them a treat every time they do that specific thing. Like you just always can't always do that. And so what often happens is if you stop giving them a treat, or if you stop doing that behavior or asking them to do that behavior, oftentimes they'll forget about it. So I did this when I was in high school. I had another dog. Teddy was not alive yet. So I had another dog. Her name was Kipper. And I saw on a video of a person that like got their dog, they called them over, and then they pointed their finger like this, and the dog sat back and then like sat on its hind legs and then put its front paws up, and then he goes bang, and then the dog goes whoop, and fell over. And I was like, that is the coolest thing ever. So I'm going to teach my dog to do that. And I did. And so I got Kipper. I pointed the gun, and she just like looked at me like, what are you doing? So I grabbed her butt. I sat her down. Good girl. Good job. Good job. Good job. And I just did that over and over and over there. Giving her candy. Giving her a piece of candy. Giving her a piece of candy. A treat, not candy. Okay. And so by the end of the day, I got Kipper to, when I pointed the gun, she sat down. When I went bang, she just kind of like laid down and rolled over a little bit. I never got her to get up. But I got her the trick. And I showed all my friends. And all my friends were like, wow, Mr. Monk, you're like the coolest person ever. And I was like, I know, aren't I so cool? And it really was rewarding. And, I was like super cool for a week. But then what ended up happening is, my friends stopped coming over to see the cool trick. They realized that that was literally the only thing I had to entertain them. And so they went home. And so by the end of the week, I didn't need to do it anymore. Kipper had done the thing. I had showed all my friends, and I had gained great stardom for a very short period of time. And then for a week, I didn't do it with her. I had no need. And so the next week, one of my other friends who had been out of town was like, hey, I heard you did this thing. And I was like, yeah, let me show you. So I called Kipper over. I went, and she did nothing. When we went bang, I'm like, Kipper, come on. She had totally forgotten, because I just constantly gave her reinforcement over and over and over again. And then when I took a period off, she was like, I don't know what's going on. So that's continuous reinforcement. Okay. Cool. Definitely forgetting Teddy. I think that's my greatest failure. No, the bottom up and top down processing is just a fancy way of saying sensation and perception, and it's not a thing. Okay, so that's your continuous reinforcement. So that's out, because that's not what she's doing here. Amiko is not feeding her cat every single time that she stops meowing. Okay, so the next, it will increase due to a variable ratio of reinforcement. Okay, so variable schedule, don't say ratio, I apologize. The variable schedule of reinforcement. That is your correct answer, because she is doing it at a variable is time schedule. So she's waiting she's waiting a certain period of time before she does that thing. So she ignores it and kind of gives it to her every once in a while when her cat does it over like a period of time. So that is what we're looking for. A variable schedule. Give me a second. Yeah, you know what? I don't even like this question all that much. I'm like rereading it, and then after explaining it, I don't even like it all that much. I don't think it does a very good job of explaining it. It will increase due to positive punishment. That's out. Yeah, I don't even like this question. Okay. Yeah. It's just not a good answer. It's not a good question. I don't like this. Okay, it's letter D. I apologize, guys. Sometimes College Board doesn't ask good questions. Okay, so let's go through. Let's just kind of lecture through the different things, because now I feel like I've wasted your time with this question. This makes me mad. Okay, how about this? Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Here's a better question. Okay. Okay, this is fine. This I'm fine with. Oof. Yes. Yes, Tiny. Yes, Tiny. 100%. Ooh, that was... I spent all that build-up to then finish the question and be upset with it. Oof. Yes, positive reinforcement, but I'm looking for schedules. Looking for schedules. Positive reinforcement's fine, but which schedule? This is asking for reinforcement schedules. Good. Okay. So remember, good. Okay, so remember, all you're having to do is look at the T chart or the cross chart, or I don't know what you call it. But how? There's my marker. Okay, so remember, when you are looking at schedules, let's see, I don't think this is going to work. How well can you guys see this? You guys see this okay? Yeah. This is okay. Okay, so you're just, so all you're doing is you have the ratios. So you have fixed ratio, you have variable ratio, or fixed ratio, variable ratio, and then you have fixed interval and variable interval. Okay. Fixed ratio because you decided yes. Okay. So you just have like your little chart here. Look at my great handwriting. Okay. So what you have is you have ratio versus interval. I like to split it like that. So think about ratios versus interval. Ratios over here are based on how many times you did that specific behavior. Okay. So if I am wanting to train Teddy, I will start with the continuous reinforcement schedule every time. But after a while, like I'm running out of dog treats and I want to really solidify this. So I would move to a fixed ratio schedule where every 5 times he does the behavior, I give him a treat. So I know, okay, when he does a thing specifically 5 times in a row, I will give the dog the treat. And that is so the dog realizes, okay, I'm not getting this every single time, but I am getting it every once in a while. And so it helps solidify that thing. The next is fixed, is a variable ratio, and variable just means random, which is kind of how I do it now. If I ever tell Teddy to sit, every once in a while I might give him a treat for sitting. But it's super rare. He does it all the time now. Like if I say sit and he's in the middle of something, he'll stop what he's doing and he'll sit down most of the time. So he's learned that. So ratio is talked about. You do a certain behavior a certain number of times and then you're getting rewarded. Fixed is a certain number of times. Variable is all over the place. So what is, and I wonder if I don't think they talked about it in your reading, but I need you to think, what is there's a quintessential example of a variable ratio schedule in the planet, in the world, in the US. What is a great example, like the quintessential example of a variable ratio schedule? I'll give you guys a second, see if you can think on what it is. Probably not TQO. Probably not. It might be a little advanced. Did it. Easy. Easy, boys and girls. Easy. Got it. Yes, the lottery, slots, very good, okay? There is a reason why Vegas and all of that is so addicting, because a person could live their entire life doing lottery tickets, going and hitting the slots and never get it. But they see other people winning. They see all the big lights, the big checks that they hold, and that cements that thing. There's a reason why at Vegas they have, at all the ATM machines, they have hotlines for people to call. And it says on there, if you are about to withdraw money that you do not have in your account, call this number, because it's a big problem in Vegas. I've been there a couple times, and like, there are people that came there for vacation and then could not leave. Like, they spent all of their money gambling and they couldn't buy a plane ticket out. They sold whatever they had and now they're on the streets. Like, it is a legit problem. And that is because the draw of that reward, of getting that reward, that randomly, like, getting that thing, is so, so powerful. Okay? So just remember that the variable ratio is tied with the lottery. It's kind of funny to think about it, but it's incredibly addictive. It's one of the major pulls on why people get so addicted. So the next is the interval schedule. An interval schedule, as we said, is just based on time. Mr. Monk wants to go on a diet and lose weight. So if he stays on his diet for 2 months, then he gets a treat, or he gets to go out and eat a really big steak dinner or something like that. That would be a fixed interval schedule. Every 2 months, if I stay on this diet plan, I get to splurge, or I get to go out and do something. Okay. A variable interval schedule is a random amount of time. After doing this behavior for a random amount of time, I get a treat. Okay. Now, yeah, getting there is okay. So this is why your phones are so addictive. Okay. When we talked about the variable ratio schedule, and I talked about it's like crazy addictive, it's the same thing with your phones. This is why so often I have students with their phones sitting on their desk, face up, ready for anything. Because what are you waiting for? You're waiting for someone to, copy your Twitter thing. You're waiting for someone to, like something on Instagram, or re-snap a snap. I don't know. But this can also be super, super addictive. So there you go. All right. So those are the different schedules. Okay. Ear or hearing related question. I can put one up. All right. Someone was supposed to have a question for me, and they were supposed to ask it afterwards. Throw that bad boy up and let me talk about that. All right, ear and hearing related question, go. Okay, perceptual adaptation, yeah. Yeah. Okay, Liba. All right. So let me get this through, and then I'll talk about perceptual adaptation. Ooh. After moving through the auditory canal, guys. After moving through the auditory canal. Yeah. Yeah, eardrum is correct. Good. Okay. All right. So, okay. So perceptual adaptation. Okay. Perceptual adaptation is just going over this idea. Yes, TQ, we went over the ear. Yeah. Okay. So the, perceptual adaptation is this idea that if your perception changed, if you, for some reason, your eyeballs literally flipped the script and now saw the world as upside down, inverted. Everything that was before down is now up, and like everything's been flipped around. What perceptual adaptation is saying is that after a while, you would actually get used to that. You could live a fairly normal life with living the world as the opposite of what you are used to. That's literally all perceptual adaptation is doing. And we have like a cool experiment that I usually get to do in class where you get inverted goggles. And one of the things that you can do is like, it would take like 2 weeks of wearing it nonstop, but you can like get used to like living with the world upside down. I think I posted a video for you guys to watch, and that's perceptual adaptation. So there you go. Okay, it is 8 o'clock. I am going to go for another probably 5 minutes, and then I've got to clear out. So if you have any specific questions, get them in now, and I will just kind of rapid fire through some of these questions that I have. Okay, good. Yes, depth perception. Excellent. Okay, good. Next. Variable interval again. Variable interval is after a random amount of time. Like when you check your phone, you don't check it every 5 minutes. You check it randomly. When you're a little bit bored, let's get a little reward. Ah, yes, someone did text me. Ah, that's rewarding. So we check it at random intervals, and we do it often to reward ourselves. Yeah, absolute threshold. So remember the absolute threshold. Signal detection. Okay. Let me do absolute threshold, and then I'll do the signal detection theory. Okay. So absolute threshold is simply this idea that it is the softest sound that you are able to ever hear. It is the dimmest light off in the distance that you are able to see. And you can only see it 50% of the time. So it is whatever, it is like the lowest amount of what you need in order to detect something. The difference threshold is the lowest amount of stimulus that you need to notice the difference between two things. That's all that's talking about. Okay. All right, let me get another question. Yes, observational learning is good. I did a question on that. Okay, here we go. No, you don't need to know about substance P or nocioreceptors. That is, yeah, you don't need to know about that. Okay. Cool. Okay. Signal detection theory. Okay. So difference threshold is correct. Good guys. Okay. So signal detection theory. It's not going to be on the test tomorrow. But basically, signal detection theory is like when you are detecting things, there's always some amount of like your circumstances are constantly influencing it. How like the difference between the two of us being able to note the difference between two violins is influenced by how close we are. It is influenced by how how much experience we have in understanding that instrument is depending on how sick we are. One of us might be a little bit sick and our ears are clogged or something like that. Like, so signal detection theory is basically just saying, like, there's no absolutes. Like, there's just no way to pin down like an absolute concept of, you know, what is like 100, like the absolute threshold and difference threshold. You'll never experience the absolute threshold. You'll never recognize that you're experiencing the absolute threshold. And that kind of falls within the signal detection theory. It's just kind of like, well, you know, all this stuff is just kind of up in the air, but we won't test on it tomorrow. Okay, one last question and then I'm out of here. Oh, I did have a good question I wanted to ask. Hold on, let's see if I can find it really quick. I skipped over it. No, where are you? There we go. Here we go. We'll finish on this one. It's a good one. Oh yeah, good. I never got to it. Yes, transduction is correct. Okay, so real quick. Okay, so Young Helmholtz is the triarch theory. Triarch, the three different colors. You've got blue, you've got green, you've got red. Those are the three colors that our cones pick up. Every color that you see is some combination of those three colors. Okay, and the opponent process theory is the on-off switch. You have blue and yellow are opposites. You have green and red are opposites. So when you see green, the green light, the green cone goes on, the red cone specifically turns off, and vice versa. And so like it's normally at neutral or whatever, it specifically turns off or it specifically turns on. Okay, there we go. What is the difference between difference between classical and operant conditioning? My goodness. Okay, classical is you're most often you are looking for a neutral stimulus because you have a naturally occurring relationship and then you have this neutral stimulus that sits outside of the naturally occurring relationship that then, because it happens over and over and over again, the neutral stimulus becomes the conditioned stimulus, and now instead of reacting to your unconditioned stimulus, you're reacting to this. Okay, so that's the why is Pavlov's dog salivating? Pavlov's dog is salivating because Pavlov walked into the room, not because of the food. They have been conditioned. They have learned. Transduction was when we were talking about different parts of the body, our different senses. Transduction is our eardrums transferring sound waves into vibrations and then sending those up the cochlea. It's the changing of one type of energy into another type of energy. It is the rods and cones in your retina that are changing the light waves into neural messages that go down to the brain. So, yeah. Okay. Cool. That is it for me today, guys. Hey, y'all have a wonderful day. I really appreciate you getting on. Now, get a good night's rest. Have a good breakfast. Tomorrow, you're going to kick some butt. You're going to kill this test. I'm going to be like, look at all these smart kids, okay? So, but make sure that you are well prepared by getting a good night's rest. Otherwise, yeah. Thank you for hopping on. I really appreciate it. You guys have a good rest of your night, and we will see you mañana. No problem. Later, everyone. Y'all have a wonderful day.